when the great prophet Elijah was just tired of everything. And he crawled up in a little ball, and he truly wanted to die. But the angels came and ministered to him. They fed him special food. Can't help but think of the hobbits with the elven food. And this food sustained him and nourished him and gave him strength. And God was able to communicate with him once again. He received the energy and the will to go for yet one more day. And it's kind of an amazing story how God, there was an earthquake, and the wind was howling, and fire came, and hail, and the whole 9 yards. And God didn't speak to Elijah in any of that. And all the display of power and the moving of heavens and earth, God wasn't communicating. And then, after everything had quieted down, and Elijah's just standing there empty because he hasn't heard from God. He's seen all of this powerful stuff, and yet he's left empty. And then all of a sudden, in the silence, the quiet, when he was finally alone, nothing else mattered. That's what God's going to do. Still, quiet, whisper. This is where we will hear from God. In the quiet place. And I don't like this truth, but here it is. You will not hear the whisper of God when you are hectically running through your life. And you will live on the surface in your relationship with God. I think that's where the church is today. Just float on the surface with God. There's no depth to the church any longer. How pleasant that needs to change with us. We cannot let that go to our kids. It needs to start with us. So let's escape to that quiet place that we might hear from God. Because if Jesus did it, how much more so do we need to do it? Jesus, he was fully human, right? Born in human flesh. Fully human, but at the same time, fully 100% man, 100%, what is it? God. Jesus, who was 100% man and 100% God, needed to pray to get alone by himself so that he could connect with his Father in heaven. How much more so do we need to? Because we're 100% man and, well, that's it. Jesus, who was 100% God and 100% man, needed to pray. How much more so do we? So that we can stay connected to God. Now, prayer can be a defensive weapon. How can we keep our defenses up? How can we try to stay on the right path so that we're not overwhelmed by our society or by our culture? Well, I've got to stay constantly connected to God through prayer. Prayer is the mechanism by which we keep our defenses up. And I've got to make God the focus of my prayers. Too often, it's all about our needs. And our friends' needs. And our friends' neighbors, Aunt Millie's dog's friends, master's needs. And we spend time, and there's nothing wrong with this. But if this is our prayer, it is not enough. It is not enough. It's not where Jesus started. Where did Jesus start? Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your... Not Howard be your name. Hallowed be your name. In other words, my Father in heaven, you and you alone are God. I rejoice in knowing you, the creator of all that there is, the sustainer of life, the one who holds all of creation in the palm of your hand. You are God and everything else is a pretender. I worship you. Hallowed be your name. May your kingdom come and your will be done. Whose will? His will. Where's the focus? On God. Not on accomplish today. Here, bless me as I do this, and bless me as I do that, and get me here on time. No, your will be done here on earth, in my life, around me, in my church, in your church, in this community. May your will be done here, in and through me, and around me, just as it is in heaven. It's like, when Jesus asked the angels to do something, they are messengers, they do it immediately. Much like your kids do when you ask them to take the garbage out. Immediately it happens, right? Oh. Doesn't happen that way in your home? No. But in heaven it does. In heaven, the will of God is followed to the letter instantly. But on earth, God's not asking angels to believe and to move. He's asking us. How quickly do we respond to God? God, may we so quickly respond to your heart and to your passion that your will happens in and through us and around us and in this community. It's all about God. It's not about me. The focal point is God. And give us today our daily bread. Meet my today needs today. I am going to trust in you, not in the stock market. I'm going to trust in you, not in my ability to earn a living. I'm going to trust in you, not my car. I'm going to trust in you, not my house. I'm going to trust in you, not my parents. I'm going to trust in you. You can meet my needs today, even though I don't necessarily know exactly what they are. Give me this day my daily bread. Where's the focus? It's all on God. And no matter what we're dealing with or wrestling against, the focus needs to be on God. And of course, I've got to stay alert when I pray. I need to stay ahead of my struggles. You know when we usually pray? When we are up to our eyebrows in trouble. And we don't see the way out. We don't know what we're going to do or how we're going to do it. And so then we pray. It's much like guides and instructions. Right? It's time to put something together for Christmas, and instruction book? Don't need it. I can figure it out. And so we try and figure it out until we have extra parts and it's not right. And then what do we do? Then we go to the instructions. Well, this is how all of humanity behaves. Maybe not against instructions and putting things together, but in seeing God meet our needs. We go before Him when we are under it. Well, what would happen if we stayed ahead of the pile of wrong? What if we stayed ahead of the garbage? What if, before we got up to our eyebrows in our own muck that we create by our own devastating reality, and asked God to lead us away from that stuff so that we wouldn't trip and stumble? What if we were to ask God to keep us away from those things that will tempt us to walk off the path of God? Oh, wait a minute. That is what Jesus said. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. God, you know I've been in muck. You know I've made wrong choices. You know I'm a sinner to the core of my being. Please forgive me. Help me also to forgive others. But God, keep me from that stuff. Lead us not into temptation. Instead, deliver us from that which is evil and from the evil one. Stay ahead of your struggles in your prayer life. See, that way we never have to do the God, I've messed up, fix it prayer. Although we're quite capable of being there. And God will respond in our problems, and He will fix the things that we find ourselves in. He will provide a way out. He will. But He'll also, if we're willing to ask and stay focused on Him and keep our attention firmly on Him, keep us away from it. We can keep our defenses up. But to keep our defenses up, we've got to lean harder on who God is than the way we lean on the struggle against which we're battling. We trust in God and focus on God more than we focus on the temptation we're trying to overcome. We focus on God and more on God than the evil we're trying to face. We focus on God, not society. We focus on God, not the culture. We focus on God, not the political machines of our day. We focus on God and let Him take care of the rest. That's the way we need to live our lives.